Okay. We should be rolling. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Download Some RAM and the one, the fucking only, everybody's favorite Hispanic, his sultry Hispanic pool boy named Keith. Santos himself. What up, my guy?
What is up?
All right, we're doing this. Okay, so if you're familiar with the old podcasts, Just Tilt 'em, this is going to be like that with none of the structure and with none of the long form content and League of Legends exclusive. Because that's what we have time for. You know, we're both John Q taxpayer working individuals. You know? But we got to put food on the table. We don't have time to dance for you like a bunch of monkeys. So that's what we'll be up to today. We have a bit to talk about, my man. So it's a roster shake. In
the spring 2020 is announced.
2020, I'm excited.
It is out.
So what are your initial thoughts on bringing in Dardoch and Kabi? Is that how you pronounce it? Kabi, Kobe?
Yeah, Kabi. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Born on the...
I mean, you're missing the most vital part of that entire roster, and that is that BioDaddy is home.
Oh, that's absolutely right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
BioDaddy is home. We traded him back from CLG. His mission as Secret Agent Wang is back. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that.
Very happy about that, to be honest. That makes me
especially because according to members of CLG, he became a very vocal member, became like a shot caller on the team. So
really,
yeah, and that was actually something that we traded him away because of. Other than the fact that Double Lift didn't want to play with him anymore, we wanted a shot caller in the bot lane.
Was that really?
And apparently, yeah, it was, and that's why we brought Mithy, because we wanted a really heavy shot caller, and so that's why we picked up Mithy, and then it kind of just brought Sven with it. But yeah, so now he's supposedly kind of taken a more of a shot calling role. I don't know if that's his confidence. I don't know if that's just the experience kind of shining through. I mean, it's been since, I don't know, 2017 or so it's been 2 years.
Back in the glory days when I was pulling mad views on the YouTube videos, bro. We call that
all 35.
But fuck you, man. That was when Double Lift was on the team, so TSM had all the Double Lift fanboys, so I would get like thousands of views per video.
Oh, it was nice.
It felt like home. Now I need to like do some acrobatics and pull in Weldon from another team just to get over 1,000.
Yeah, well, that's our second Secret Agent, so he'll be back hopefully at some point.
All right, so that's what I was. We'll get to that actually in a bit, but I have a couple of comments that I would like to make at least about the announcement videos. Announcement videos for Dardoch and the announcement videos for Kabi. Namely, so Exhibit A, Dardoch, in the span of how long has he been in the LCS? It's only a couple years at this point, right? 3?
I think it was 2016. Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, I think it was 3. Yeah.
So he's been in the LCS for 3 going on 4 years. In that 3 years, he went from looking like McLovin, like a really young McLovin, to like somebody's Asian grandmother. And it's astounding to me, the transformation that he has underwent.
This is some real professional hot takes.
What do you mean? That's just like, that's my immediate reaction. I'm like, wow, he looks like, that's unbelievable.
We're going to roast the boy.
Look, man, if anybody can take being roasted, do you think Dardoch cannot handle it?
It's Dardoch. That is absolutely true.
He's probably going to dish it right back.
I am so equally excited and terrified to have Dardoch on the team.
Dude, it is actually, I
am very, very nervous. And I mean, I think a lot of fans have a right to be. He's been on 4 teams now, and pretty much 3 of the 4 of them, he was removed for attitude issues. He said in his Eyes on Dardoch that like he would go at the end of every split and go to the owner and be like, I want to be traded. Just because he didn't. Yeah. And so like he had a real problem with people who like were underperforming, and like, so a lot of people are saying that first weekend we're either going to like nail it or the whole team's going to implode. So I mean, no pressure. But hopefully since then, Dardoch's like, I don't know, matured and
I mean,
hopefully
clearly he
realizes
has.
that
The,
like
the
he can.
transformation is uncanny.
Yeah, well now he's an Asian grandmother, so there's
Yeah.
no going back from that. But hopefully he kind of sees that like TSM's not fucking around, like he's got to get his shit together, like he's not going to have another chance. I think this is Dardoch's last chance to be on a team
I I
in terms
com-
of like attitude.
I completely agree. I completely
Yeah.
agree. Obviously, the skill is still there.
Oh yeah.
He's still a fantastic player. Mechanically, he's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But goddamn, man, he's Antonio Browning it. What's happening?
Oh
Do you guys
yeah.
follow?
Well,
Do you follow professional football?
I know enough. My girlfriend follows more football than I do, but I know enough about
That's
Antonio
actually
Brown.
kind of sad.
Yeah. Well, depends on your view of it.
What's her team?
She's a Seahawks fan.
Okay, so here's the thing. I now that I live on the West Coast, or West Coast adjacent, because, I hate England. I hate Patriots fans just because I'm from the Northeast, and
Yeah. Right.
But everybody out here cannot stand Seahawks fans.
Really?
Yeah, like I went to a San Francisco 49ers game, and they showed the score.
Oh well, they are like.
Dude, they showed the score of the Seahawks game on the big screen, and everybody was cheering that the Seahawks lost. I was like, holy shit, guys.
Yeah, they are big time rivals.
Are they really? I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Wow. All right. Well, learn something new every day.
Point
is that we digress.
Yeah, but I don't think Antonio Brown's going to get another chance. Dardoch gets his last chance. And I think the other thing is, on top of being like super skilled mechanically, it being his last chance with the attitude, and hopefully like playing with players like Bjergsen, who he said he's always wanted to play with, really kind of help motivate him in the right direction.
I mean, part owner of Team Solo.
Yes, part owner of TSM.
He's your mid laner and your fucking boss.
Yeah, he's his own boss.
How about
it's entrepreneurial?
Dardoch might fuck around and not get his paycheck signed if you. Looking at you, every team from where was it? Was it Australia? The Oceania?
Oh man, Tainted Minds. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to see it happen.
Yeah. But I think that it's going to be maybe the time to break the TSM jungler curse, because if anybody can resist becoming a ward, it's going to be Dardoch. And we really were hoping that like Mike Young was going to play aggressive despite everything, that Svenskeren was going to play aggressive despite everything, that Acadian was going to play aggressive despite everything. And it just like, I don't think that the idea that TSM ruins junglers is a real thing, but there's definitely something going on, because our junglers always seem to lose confidence. We always seem to just put them on like Sejuani, and then that's it, and they just stay on Sejuani for the rest of the season.
Yeah, there was a while where
Gragas.
There was a while where Acadian's Twitter bio was professional Sejuani player for Team Sullivan.
Yeah, pretty much. And
like,
I mean, for Svenskeren, it was like Gragas, like every game for the longest time.
Could pop the fuck off on some aggressive champions in earlier in his stint. Damn, man. I know. You hate to see it happen.
Well, and I think a big piece of it is because Bjergsen is such a passive laner. You'd expect him to be more aggressive for his skill level, but he's actually a really, really passive laner, and he's a passive player. So he's not like a heavy engage, heavy playmaker, and so that's why utility junglers seem to really like work with how he plays the game, and how inevitably the rest of the team plays the game. They kind of just follow Bjergsen's lead. Which has been to their detriment at a lot of points. Like every time we've seen strong TSM, it's been go TSM. Like they've had like Haunter and Double Lift like pushing forward. And at that point, like Bjergsen just kind of follows and just cleans up. And that's where we really see the most successful TSMs. So hopefully Dardoch can continue and do that. It's gonna be it's gonna be tough, because I think the meta is changing with the new season, that it's going to be very, very bot focused, just because of the emphasis on dragons now, with the whole elements and the buffs.
Dude, you're
I know.
attention to this now.
I know.
I'm out here in the fucking desert. I get 70 ping. My rank days are over. I'm like an old retired football player.
Yeah. So as far as I'm understanding it, after the first two dragons are defeated, the map will change based on the element of the random RNG elemental Drake. At that point, the next, I think it's two Drakes of that element, will give the teams like a buff based on that element. So the point is, there's a lot more emphasis on Dragon, and Dragon has a lot more to play on the map. So whereas last year we really kind of focused a lot on mid and top in terms of the jungler synergies, like jungler top, jungler mid. Um, it's going to be a lot about the bot lane, which I think kind of rolls right into the next discussion of Kabe and what BioBay, Kabe Frost.
Yeah.
I kind of like BioBay, but
BioBay.
yeah, I like BioBay.
It's like the new Old Bay seasoning.
Yes, BioBay.
Yeah, I'd put that on my fucking shrimp
I would
cocktail.
sprinkle that on some mad fries, dude.
Dude, I had too much Old Bay on some scallops one time, and it like ruined. It didn't ruin Old Bay. I still like Old Bay. It ruined the scallops.
That's so weird.
Dude, I know. I can't for whatever reason eat scallops nowadays, but I still fuck with some Old Bay.
Okay, all right. So we got some BioBay. So I don't know. You don't really follow as much of LEC, correct?
I don't.
At all. Okay, all right. I was trying to be generous with like how ignorant you are.
Okay. All right, Dick. Maybe this will be the only episode.
The first and last episode.
Just change the text right now. Episode last.
Yeah. Episode 1, Keith bullies another streamer.
Keith cyberbullies streamer. Keith cyberbullies pillar of the community downloads around.
Hero to us all.
Dude,
oh man.
We'll talk about that later. That's something for later on in the lack of fan content. But anyway.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's
but yeah, so Kabe being one of the better AD carries in Europe. I mean, Splice had a crazy run at Worlds. It had an amazing run through playoffs or the play-ins. I'm sorry, and then came second in their group, which nobody really expected. And then gave SKT kind of a run for their money. SKT kind of still steamrolled them, but that's SKT. But they took a game off of SKT, which says something. Kabe is he's a strong laner, but he isn't he's a team laner, which is something like Reckless, something not necessarily like Perks or Double Lift, where they're going to have a strong individual mechanics performance, but they're going to have a even lane that eventually runs really well with a good team.
They're going to have a performance.
They're going to have they're going to perform.
Performance will be had.
They will play, and that's as far as we know.
Yeah.
No, that's I think if they can have good synergy. Again, Biofrost isn't a particularly aggressive laner. Kabe's not a particularly aggressive laner. I think what we're going to see is a lot of lanes going even. Even if we fall into a deficit, I think Kabe is good at kind of bringing those back. Biofrost has always been a team playing support where he's really good in team fighting as opposed to like the laning phase.
Oh, he's insane in team fighting. He's absolutely ridiculous.
And his laning phase is very good. It's certainly not bad. It's not, sneaky in
100%.
lane.
Yeah, sneaky in lane lol.
Yeah. But so I think it'll be a solid bot lane. It's just going to be how much they synergize.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
That's another one of those things. We can wildly speculate on it as much as we want. How's his English?
It's not bad. Most European players are pretty fine with English.
Oh no, I've heard a lot of European players speak, and I would
so some heavy accents.
I would beg to differ, sir.
No, he's pretty clear. I don't think we're going to see any problem with that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, I hope so. They're making a big deal about how unbelievably Danish he is.
Well, Reggie has to pick up the Danes. That's a given.
Dude, so I guess so. I don't know. Danes are strange. I work with a couple of Danes nowadays. And they're They're an interesting they're an interesting bunch. That's for
Are
sure.
any of them great? Any Great Danes?
Son of a bitch. You know what? I'm just gonna head out.
That's it. That's the end of the pod. Thank you all.
Just fade it out immediately.
Yeah, I think overall those are our new players. I think Bjergsen's going to be Bjergsen. There's no changing that. It's going to be interesting to see where BB lands because I really would have thought that the top lane focus would have really been stronger for him. They kept putting him on like Aatrox and putting him on really bad picks when he's a carry top laner. He's an Aurelia main, he's a Riven main. And we spent a lot of time in spring like flexing the Aurelia because Bjergsen can play Aurelia, Broken Plate can play great Aurelia, and it worked. It worked really well in spring.
Yeah, it did.
And we just stopped doing that in summer for whatever reason. I don't know if we stopped being confident or what.
Dude, some absolute debauchery went down, man. It's just rough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that now that I personally think that the focus is going to shift away from top. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that means that we're going to see a lot of like gangplanks just for the global aspect of it. I think that could be a really big.
I think that'll be a big top thing. Meta, let's go. Yeah, which by extension means Vladimir top meta, let's go.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised to see that. I would not be surprised to see like some heavy engagers and maybe like some more wet noodle fights way back in the Mundo Shyvana days. I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Oh my god.
I know.
Remember season 5 Unkillable Sedge top?
Oh god,
that was unbelievable, dude.
That whole top lane meta was so bad.
I miss that like super tank meta because there have been so many metas since that have been horrendous.
Yeah,
like I would dude, hear me out. I would take 5 unkillable 5,000 HP Sejuani metas before I would take one more Jhin Varus lethality bot lane.
Really?
Meta.
Oh, see, I would have said over another Taric Sona. I hate Sona Taric.
Or the Juggernaut meta. The Juggernaut meta was horrendous.
Yeah, that was horrendous. I want to go back to like Force of Nature, Warmog's Atma's Impaler.
Oh my god!
All
right, let's cool it down there, old timer.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, boomer.
okay. That's the league equivalent. What season qualifies you as a League of Legends boomer?
It's got to be at least 2, man.
Season 2? You think season 2? Mm-hmm. Season 1 is like greatest. No, pre-season 1 is like greatest generation.
Yeah, that's going way too far back. Those people are vets.
They did the fucking work so we don't have to. Let's be real.
That's right. They died for our sins.
Granted, they didn't live long enough to see this fucking new champion.
Yeah.
It's an absolute dumpster fire of a new champion.
Atrelios? I don't remember.
Aphelios or something.
Aphelios.
God damn, certainly T needs to be hung by his thumbs in the public square because this man needs to just hang it up. I hear this is his last champion, right? I think he's leaving.
I didn't hear that. Yeah,
I heard that he's leaving after this, and I swear to fucking God he better be leaving after this. Because I can't take another Pyke. I can't take another fucking Riven, Yasuo, Zoe. Fucking Zoe. I can't take it anymore, man. I'm sick of it.
So what's gonna end up happening is we're gonna get like a whole bunch of vanilla champions like Kiana, though not as bullshit as Kiana, because Kiana's super bullshit.
Yeah,
her kit is like really, really vanilla. Like it's just a very straightforward kit.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a lot of like small dash on E, small shield on W, and for the first like 2 or 3 champions, we're gonna be like, yeah, this is all right. We're getting back to where we like. And then after like 5 or 6, we're gonna be like, this is so boring. Bring back Certainly T. I'm ready.
Don't never even suggest that will be.
I'm ready.
I will have them release 95 Garens in a row before they bring back Certainly T. All right, it's not gonna happen. It can't happen. I refuse. Good lord. Anyway,
so rolling back to our TSM discussion, I think I don't really know what the mid lane. I don't know what any of the metas are actually going to look like in terms of like actual picks. Just because it's so too soon. Like we're in preseason, or we're like starting to dive into preseason.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Right now, and it's going to be a mess for a little while. I know top lane's in a horrible spot, so they're going to like fix top lane, and it's going to be in too good of a spot. And then they're going to fix it again, and then it's just going to be in a weird spot. So I definitely know that there's
Top Lane Island.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a bot lane focus. I think there's going to be a lot of focus on junglers who can solo dragons, so like Elise, maybe Olaf's.
Shyvana.
Oh, Shyvana. If we see some Shyvana jungle,
Big Shyvana energy.
yeah, or some Fiddlesticks. That would be fun.
Oh, I
Yeah,
need
that would be
Fiddlesticks back
fun.
in the meta. I need Fiddlesticks
I
back
know.
in the meta.
So I think that'll be good. I think there's a good chance that we'll see maybe some like Rengars, just because a lot of the maps. And here's the problem: it's since it's all RNG with the map changes. I don't know if you've seen any of the elemental map changes. Some of them add like mad bushes, like
Wait, are you
the
fucking
ocean.
serious?
Yeah, the ocean one adds like a ton of bushes. So like if you just so happen to have been like Ivern or Rengar,
The
then
whole
you're in like
map.
a great place.
The
Yeah,
whole
it
map
just
is gonna
it
change.
adds so many. Yeah, oh yeah, the entire map changes.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
So to give you a very quick rundown with ocean drakes, they do the honey fruit that spawns pretty much everywhere. It's showing like a rain texture that's going over, and then there's just bushes that just appear everywhere. There's like a whole bunch of extra ones. With mountain, they add some extra terrain, so there's extra rocks that kind of show up. So people like Camille are gonna have a good time.
Talon's gonna have an
Talon,
awesome time. Son of a
yeah.
bitch, not Talon.
Fire Drake, they like take down a whole bunch of walls around like Dragon. It just like opens it up a whole lot, and it
Ooh,
burns out a lot of bushes and gets
that's
rid
actually
of a lot
pretty
of
cool.
bushes. Yeah. And then what am I missing?
Oh,
Air.
I love having to pick a fucking one-trick champion and then have it completely eliminated by the RNG of the fucking map. That's awesome.
Welcome to new RNG.
Rengar one-trick's fucking sweating right now.
Yeah. But then Cloud Drake, it adds a whole bunch of basically like slipstreams in the jungle, just almost like Skarner speed ups that just kind of like make you whoosh around the jungle real fast.
Sure, yeah.
So, but yeah, so there's definitely going to be a focus around it, unless it's garbage, unless it really gets like, I mean, it may just get tweaked in such a way that like the dragons are really garbage, almost like Rift Herald did, where like we thought like, oh, there's going to be so much top lane focus because of Rift Herald, like it's so strong. And then it got nerfed into Oblivion, and everybody was like, "Why am I even going to bother with Rift Herald? What a waste of my time!"
It's
until
still
they had
not
to change it.
Like horrendous. Yeah, I mean, Rift Herald's fine.
Well, now it's good. They fixed it to be good, but people thought that it was going to be like revolutionary to the way that we play the map.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And that's why I'm saying. So I feel like now dragon changes are going to be revolutionary to how we play the map. But if they're garbage, then that may not happen.
Then it's just an RNG map with new color
scheme,
right? Yeah.
So, and I think that this is where mechanical junglers such as Dardoch will thrive. I think that he'll do really, really well against maybe more passive junglers like Santorin or even maybe Xmithy, though Xmithy's still very mechanically good.
Where's he going?
Xmithy is on Immortals now. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The boys.
Yeah, because Immortals is back. Dignitas is back.
Oh,
Evil Geniuses is back. Yeah.
Are they really? Jesus.
Yeah, and that's where Svenskeren is Evil Geniuses.
No fucking way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, you have not been keeping up at all. Did you hear that Sven is on C9?
Wait, what? What a time to be alive.
I know. Sneaky's gone. Sneaky's out.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
He's just done? He retired?
We don't know yet. He hasn't made his decision whether he's going to stay with Cloud9, he's going to retire with Cloud9, or he's going to go to another team. But Aphromu's off 100 Thieves and doesn't have a team.
That's the only one that I know.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I know that.
I don't either. But yeah. So anyway, I think that Dardoch will do really well just because the jungle changes. I think there's going to be a lot of focus in the jungle with all the jungle changes.
Yeah.
And somebody who's very mechanically gifted like Dardoch is going to, I think, hopefully do very well. Players that have very good map awareness, like Bjergsen has very good map awareness, I think he'll do well. Broken Blade showed some of that in spring, showed less of it in summer. So if he can get back to playing the map a little better, then I think they'll be in a good place. So I think that there's a lot of good that TSM can do. I think the biggest question, even more than Dardoch, even more than Kabe, even more than BioDaddy, even more than Broken Blade or Bjergsen, is who is our coach? Who is the coach going to be?
Hell? All right, real quick, before we transition to the coaching discussion, I have one more thing to say about Kabe's introduction video.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm pretty confident that Reginald is incapable of actually screaming at a normal person volume.
Oh yeah, that
Have
is
you
absolutely
ever
true.
heard him like try and scream? He always does like the you're describing
Ah,
scream. He does,
ah.
yeah, he does like you're describing
Yeah,
screaming to somebody. It's like,
yeah,
it's like that but louder. It's like,
yeah.
oh my god, we're gonna win worlds.
Like you're
Like,
trying to tell a very exciting story of when somebody screamed, but in public around your friends.
Exactly. That is exactly
Yeah,
it. He
yeah,
always does that, and
yeah.
it bugs me, dude. He couldn't
No,
have just
I feel
he
that.
couldn't have just sold out for this one bit. All right, whatever. You know what? I don't even care.
No, I hear that.
I don't
But
even
I
care.
think the Biofrost announcement video made up for all of it. The memes in that video
I'm gonna be
were
honest with
so
you. I'm gonna
good.
keep it 8 more than 92 with you right now. I haven't seen it.
You, of all the announcement videos to have seen, you need to go watch Biofrost. I'm serious. The memes
I'm
were
gonna do
on
that.
point. We'll
I'll
watch it
do that.
together after we stop this.
Deal. That
But
works.
all right. So is that it before we move into coaching?
Yes, let's go ahead and jump into my biggest fear of all time.
All right.
Coaching.
So your biggest dream and my biggest dream is dead. Kakoma is being rumored to move to Vichy Gaming in LPL. There is no Kakoma for TSM.
Damn. You hate to
I
see it
know.
happen.
You hate to see it
How
happen.
much is one Kakoma going for nowadays? Like, what's his salary looking like?
It's got to be insane. It's got
It's
to be insane.
ridiculous, right?
He's
Especially
a
now that
three-time.
he's in China. Fuck, dude. Like,
Oh yeah, he's a three-time world champion. It's got to be insane.
yeah.
So right now, the biggest rumor is Hom, who was the coach of Samsung White back when Samsung White won Worlds. After that, he's been on, I think, a couple of LCK teams and has done okay. Not anybody of big note. Um, Apparently a good coach, but another Korean coach. Maybe either it's going to be a Reaper or a Song 2.0.
Please
And
no.
then I know. And then the other option, which is seeming, it's not rumored, it's not as likely, but I would love it, is TSM Yamato Cannon.
All right, you were talking about this. We were texting about this one earlier.
Yeah.
I like I don't know.
What a personality to bring. I mean, I would feel sad for LEC to bring him out of the LEC. And I think it's more of a crime if he doesn't get a coaching position, just because I know that he's a very good um, motivational coach and a very good personal coach. I don't
Sure,
know
sure.
about how strong his stratagem is as a coach and how his game knowledge is. We don't end up seeing a lot of what the background of coaching looks like for most teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's coached Splice to great heights. He coached Vitality to great heights, and they both kind of did the same thing where they like plateaued at this very high level, and then at that point Yamato left. So I don't know if that's just kind of where he's going to end up being stuck
That
until
would
he
be, yeah.
finds until he finds a team that he can take to greater heights. I don't know if he's the coach that can take teams to greater heights, but he is like such a great personality. He's just such a fun guy.
He
I think
is
that he
interesting.
commands a lot of respect.
That's
I
that's the thing that I have been saying needs to
Yeah,
happen. We need somebody in our coaching position that most of the TSM roster, specifically Bjergsen,
Pearson.
um, looks, I don't want to say looks up to, but respects as
Mm-hmm.
a coaching mind and as a coaching presence. We need somebody who can kind of impose their presence on somebody else. And Zix, for as amazing as a coach, for as amazing of a coach as he's been, he's known as the guy that can pull a lot of talent out of lesser known or lesser talented rosters, which I
Yeah.
think works to his advantage because nobody there has an ego, nobody there has an expectation, and so therefore he can kind of coach in that space, right? In that mental space.
Which
But
he's on 100 Thieves now, and I think he'll do well.
yeah,
On
I think
100 Thieves.
he'll be fine there.
Yeah.
Especially with Afro gone. Honestly, I think Afro being gone is actually a benefit to Zix going into 100 Thieves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
But what you would need is somebody who is. We've discussed this earlier in that there's nobody like this in league other than Kakoma right now.
Yeah.
Who we need a coach whose reputation precedes themselves, right? And until we can get somebody who commands that kind of respect within the team, I just don't see anything coming together as cohesively as it possibly could. You know?
We have some really good coaches that exist. I mean, we've seen Young Buck to be a good coach. We've seen Dylan Falco has the capability of being a good coach. Reapert is obviously a very good coach. We've seen Inero as a very good coach. So we know that they exist. We know that they're out there. Um, Kopp was a good coach for his time. St. Vicious was a good coach for his time. Loco Doco was a good coach for his time. But again, none of them really command that high level of respect. The closest, other than Kokoma, I think, is Reaper, who
Yeah.
really does command a lot of that respect and earns a lot of it. He's a very, very good person coach. In
100%. Yeah.
his draft has been questionable at times, but like
At
just
times.
at times, yeah. But just the way that he commands the respect of the team, the way that he commands absolute authority of the team, he's very honest with the team. You hear reports of him literally telling some of his players like you're bad, like you're playing bad, stop playing this champion.
Yeah.
Which is huge because they know that it's not like a disrespectful or mean thing from him. And that's really what we need is we need something like that. And I don't know because you're right, it's really Bjergsen. And I don't think that Bjergsen has an ego because at this point we've had too many people come back. Too many coaches say he's the most coachable player. He's the easiest player to coach.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's
so there is no Bjergsen ego. That it's like a huge rumor that was going around for
what
a while.
It is the Bjergsen Reggie relationship.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think a big piece of it is the Reggie relationship. I think the fact that Reggie stepped back last year was huge for the team. And I know that it didn't necessarily garner our return to success, but it was so big because we kept doing the thing where our coaches would do, and then Reggie would step in playoffs and we'd do well again. We can't do that. He can't afford to do that. He has way too many other things to do. And that's not what we pay our coaches for. That's not what they should be there for.
You're absolutely right.
I think the fact that he stepped back a little bit is helpful. Hopefully we get somebody that commands the same level of respect and attention that Reggie does. Because again, I don't think Bjergsen disrespects his coach. I don't think that he's an uncoachable personality. Again, we've been told so many times that he's one of the most coachable players that some people have ever worked with. But the amount of respect that Reggie just carries with him, I don't know if it's because he's a very forceful personality.
That's
and
what
so maybe
it is.
he demands it.
That's what it is. He's the kind of guy that will demand that level of attention and respect. And we need that, not quite as coarse as Reggie can be at times.
A refined Reggie, if you will.
We need a refined, a pure distilled spring Reggie. Purified Reggie. Yeah, exactly.
From the coasts of Spain, an antique
Reggie is to Dasani what our new coach needs to be to Fiji.
We need a Voss. We need a
no. We don't need a fucking Voss water. That's Nade Shot. Nade Shot's Voss.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's definitely Voss. Yeah, no, that's. I'm hoping that because I think a big thing in the TSM house, and we've kind of seen that again more than individuals disrespecting coaches or struggling to take direction from coaches, is that a lot of coaches start with the respect and they lose it very quickly. And once our coaches lose respect, that's where the problem kind of comes in. So like Loco Doco, as soon as he had respect and we were doing really well, as soon as he lost the respect, as soon as players started feeling unsure about him, it all just went downhill. And to be fair, he wasn't the best coach towards the end, but still. And it was the same thing with Song. We started out really respecting Song, really following Song, doing what Song says. And then as time went on, suddenly Lust Boy's on stage, and it's Lust Boy and Parth, and Song is just in the background somewhere. We respect Tony when he comes in, and then all of a sudden it's Peter Zhang on stage. Where's Tony? He's nowhere to be found.
I don't understand it, right? Like, so what are they doing then to lose respect? Because here's the thing. If the culture is that when we don't win, we lose the respect of the coach, that's a toxic fucking culture that we can't have, right? So is not immediately seeing results with a new coach is not grounds to lose respect for the coach, right? I mean, even NFL coaches, I love the NFL. So my biggest analogies are going to be to the NFL. Those coaches get years and years and years to build the team, and the team will still respect them. It's a big deal when you find out that players have lost respect for the NFL coach. It's a whole fucking, thing. They almost never get a coaching job again after that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the question is it the players that are losing respect for the coach? Is it Parth and the management that's losing respect? Is it Reggie that's losing respect?
That's true.
Is it the other coaches that, you know what I mean? I don't know. We don't know that. So we can only speculate, but that's really what it seems is at some point they lose faith in the coach. I don't know if it's even a loss of respect, but we lose faith in our coach. And so all of a sudden they stop taking the stage. And we've seen them not take the stage a lot of times. And I don't know if that's just because of like consistent bad drafts. I don't know if that's like behind the scenes bad decision making, or like they're not taking good input from players, or they're taking too much input from players. We don't know that. We really don't. But that's just kind of what we've seen, is that we've lost faith in our coaches as they've kind of come along. So we need somebody that either Parth and Reggie, like 100% double down, no matter what. This guy has the rule, the law, the land. That's it. We give it to him and just see from that point whether he succeeds or fails. Like, I don't know if management is just being too involved in the back end, or we need somebody who's going to do that for himself, who's going to be able to demand that level of respect, who's going to be able to maintain that level of faith.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know what it's going to take and what coach we need. A lot of people really want Ham, and I don't know if that's just because he's a Korean coach. He's shown success in the past. I don't know. Again, we really don't see a whole lot of insight in what their coaching tactics are, just because that's insider information. Like, we're not going to get that.
Yeah.
So,
that's that trade secret.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, I'm going to end up trusting, the TSM management more than I'm going to trust Reddit analysts. But
well, why would you ever do that?
Yeah, they're all challenger. That's true.
All of the Reddit armchair coaches are challenger plus.
Meanwhile,
in their warm challenger jackets.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're armchair analysts making a podcast, but at least we're self-aware.
But we're stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
we're also drinking. What are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, got that Mad Elf.
Mad Elf. Damn, bro.
Yeah,
what is that?
That is a 11% ale brewed with honey and cherries.
Oh, that actually sounds delightful.
It is very expensive.
I am watching.
Got that Michelob Ultra.
Watching my figure.
I'm also watching my figure. I'm watching it grow.
That's why we're Girth, Wind, and Fire, dude.
That's right. I am the Girth. Welcome to Girth, Wind, and Fire with me, the Girth.
That is going to be the newest fucking... oh, God, that needs to be my ringtone. Just, I am the Girth.
I am the Girth.
On repeat.
Yeah.
I can attest to that, by the way. The man is, he's packing, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't, but I'm following along.
But anyway, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm
nervous, but
I
I'm
have
excited.
been the more cynical of us two when it comes to this new roster. Like, yes, I guess I'm excited about the roster, but I don't think any of this roster is going to work, especially with Dardoch in the jungle, without a coach who really knows their shit and a coach who can get things done.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to believe in the new TSM roster. I'm happy that Parth and Reggie really took it. Well, I guess mostly Parth at this point. Kind of blew up the roster. I'm glad that Sven is gone. As decent as Sven was, there was a good chance that we were going to maintain him just to kind of try and keep seeing if he'll bring out that all-star LCS or LEC player that he was.
Good. Sven and Mithy were not.
They were okay
good on TSM.
No, on TSM, Sven and Mithy were bad, but Sven and Smoothie were a lot better, and I liked Smoothie, but apparently he clogs up comms a lot. I thought he was mechanically pretty solid, but I'm very excited to see Biofrost back.
Oh,
and then of course, I know, and then of course, switching it up in the jungle. But we've been struggling for a solid jungler since I would say Svenskeren. I know some people would even go back further than that.
But I mean, we won so many finals with Svenskeren.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Worlds with Svenskeren, and he played
all
fine.
Of our previous all of the coaches before Svenskeren too. I mean, Odd One, we came third place at Worlds. We had Amazing, where we actually got out of groups for the only time ever. Santorin, we got to Worlds multiple times and had multiple wins. Svenskeren, we obviously had like all of our craziest split ever in spring of 2016. That was like
TSM, like one loss TSM.
Yeah, it was one loss.
Oh, that was the best, dude. Those were the days. You remember that?
We got goofed by Phoenix One.
We could just kick back, man. That was.
We knew that they were going to win almost no matter
we were
what.
like, it's a foregone conclusion. We'll just hang
Doesn't
back.
matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah.
those were pure innocent times when I didn't
They
have
were good
student
times.
loans.
But yeah, so we've had good junglers for a little while, and then after Svenskeren is kind of where I went down. We picked up Greg. Greg was okay, didn't really synergize with the team. Picked up Acadian. Acadian, I guess, had some internal problems with some members of the team.
Wait, really?
Supposedly. Yeah, there was some rumors that there was some gallivanting with the female companions of other team members, and certain team members did not want to play with him anymore. Those are rumors, non-substantiated.
Now,
those are rumors.
Where may I ask the source of these? Where did you see this?
Oh, they were all over the place back when Acadian got like suddenly benched and Spica was in out of nowhere. Yeah, they played a big part. Yeah, supposedly. But then Parth had he sent out a whole Reddit thread that was like, that has nothing to do with it. It's all about team environment.
But he didn't deny that it was happening.
Parth. We were like, okay, Parth.
We were like, all right, buddy.
It's unsubstantiated rumors, but apparently there were certain individuals who did not want to play with him anymore. But on top of that, he lost some confidence, became a Sejuani bot, and we really decided to just give Spica a chance out of nowhere. And Spica did really well for what he was given, which was not a whole lot. But it just wasn't enough to be a team that was going to go to Worlds, much less win the LCS.
That is wild. So,
yeah.
I did not know that. I mean, granted, he's a good-looking man, so I understand.
He's a Chad.
He is the Chad jungler.
He is the Chad.
By definition. That man.
Yeah. That
man will steal your bitch. He's Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, he is. Sometimes for some players, it's literal. So
who? Wait, do we know which player?
It was supposedly Sven.
I get it. I understand that.
Damn.
What? What?
I don't know. You're just calling Sven a cuck. Like,
no,
right
that is not what I am doing. Let the record fucking state that words are being forced into my mouth.
You all heard it. You were all witnesses. Yeah, no, I'm excited for this new roster. I think once we get a final, it's supposed to happen, according to Lena, it's going to happen this week. We're going to get the final announcement with the full roster, including the coach.
No way, really?
Yep, that is supposed to happen this week. They're already moving to Shanghai.
What's that? Is Lena dating Doublelift?
Yes, that is happening. Yeah.
Ah, I figured. Interesting.
But Reggie has a new girl, too, so. That
has nothing. I was just worried about my chances.
Well, yeah, well. I mean, Reggie and Lena used to date like years ago.
No, I know that. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, Reggie has a new cute girl.
Oh, really?
Check out her Instagram. Yeah,
dude, esports professionals. I don't want to rag on them because they're my they're my lifeblood. I love esports. They're my guys. They're my people. But did
you see the SNL skit?
No, I did not.
I'll have to send it to you. There's literally an SNL skit like memeing the League of Legends World Championship, and they like meme on esports like followers and players, and it's good. Like, I think it's tasteful.
Oh, okay,
I was afraid that it wouldn't be, but I think it was actually okay.
Do they ever like bring up the fact that all of them have way too hot for their occupation girlfriends?
Yes, that was a big joke.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
It boggles the mind.
I know. Yeah, so that's going to happen this week, is according to Lena. We're going to get the full announcement. They're going to be going to Shanghai to boot camp, and that's why Bjergsen is not going to All-Stars.
Yeah, I saw that announcement, yeah.
To go boot camp in Shanghai. I think it's a great move. Hopefully we get a solid boot camp. Imagine if we'd be able to scrim Fun plus Phoenix, so we're scrimming the world champions.
That would be. Is that a thing fun. That could happen, or?
It's very possible. It's in China, so who knows?
Well, sure, but I mean that would be a fantastic.
I mean, even if we're scrimming like RNG, if we're scrimming EDG,
look,
Team
it's
WE,
better teams than NA teams, so like
that is certainly true. But yeah, so I think it'll be good. It's interesting that we're not going to Korea. I think it's kind of funny, just because Korea is not the hot region that it used to be.
TSM chasing the meta even in like scrim locations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There might be more reason behind it. We don't know, but
I
that's
mean,
what it
yeah,
is.
sure.
It's very convenient that
it's probably cheaper to go to China than Korea nowadays, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's probably true too.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Reggie's,
Free Hong
Reggie's
Kong,
on that,
by the way.
free Hong Kong, by the way.
Free Hong
We're
Kong.
not no NBA up in this piece.
No.
Also, we're
Blizzard
commentating.
can't censor us.
Also, we're commentating on League of Legends.
Yeah.
which
I mean, there was
literally owned by China.
Owned by China. This podcast brought to you by China.
This podcast brought to you by China, but also free Hong Kong.
But also free Hong Kong.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I have a lot of faith in the roster. I'm excited. I just want to see. I'm hoping that we just get some good shit out of them, even if it's not. I don't expect it to be a clean. It's either going to be like an extremely clean first split, or it's going to be like a really rocky first split. Some people really think it's going to be like World Champions or Breaking Point Part 2. I don't know if it's going to be that bad. I hope that it's not going to be that bad. I think it's going to be less extreme than that. I just want to solidify us as a top 3 team, and then hopefully come into summer as a number 1 team. I want to win LCS again. I want Bjergsen to raise another trophy.
Yeah, man, he deserves it.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. So. All right, my man. That sounds like a pretty good place to wrap up the inaugural episode.
Yeah, I'm out of beer, so it works.
Dude, that's exactly. I just closed mine up. The inaugural episode of Girth, Wind, and Fire. Now officially 1 beer long. That's how long these episodes are going to be. Is 1 beer.
That is right.
So let's go down a couple of things real quick, just before we head on out. These are not going to be weekly. These are going to be more as needed. During the split, we'll try and make them as regular as possible, whether that be weekly or every 2 weeks, checking up on the progress of the team. But don't expect, this to be a super regular thing. This is just something I wanted to open up and throw out there so we have the forum to do this in the future. They're definitely, I guess maybe we'll do one when the new coach gets announced after the Thanksgiving week and everything. But
yeah, maybe. I think it would be beneficial to do one once all of the rosters are announced, and we can kind of talk about what the competition's going to look like.
I like that idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. So that'll be, I guess, the point at which, is there like a lockout date? Is there a date at which all of the rosters need to be officially submitted?
There is. I don't know if they've announced it or talked about it yet. Free agency really just started last week.
Yeah.
So I don't expect it to be anytime soon. I know that the new split starts in January, so I'd assume it's somewhere around January 1st, somewhere in there.
All right. Cool. Yeah, and then, like we said, we'll do it as needed after that. So thank you guys if you stuck through this entire thing, God bless you.
God bless you.
God bless your absolute boosted heart.
Your torturous soul.
Yeah, the masochist of masochists. Yeah, thank you. We enjoy doing these. So there's gonna be more of them. We whipped up this overlay in like 2 minutes before we started.
I hope you love it.
It's honestly growing on me. But anyway, thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys next time, whenever that is. And then this also, since this is going on the Downloads and RAM channel, this is not replacing regular Downloads and RAM TSM reaction videos. It will not.
Oh, thank God.
Fuck you. How about that? How about that? Yeah, no, this is not replacing that. So we're all, don't even trip, chocolate chip. We're good. And other than that, anything else to add, my man?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you guys for tuning on in. We'll catch you next time on Girth, Wind, and Fire.